What's up, everybody? All right, guys, have a awesome card that I'm really thrilled to show you guys. Just got it in today, Memorial Day 2023, and really excited to show you guys, featuring Joe DiMaggio, one of the greatest players of all time. This is my third big piece of his. You can see here I have the 1939 Play Ball DiMaggio, which I got when I first got back into collecting, like really back into collecting and doing YouTube videos almost 8 or 9 years ago now. This is, oh geez, an autograph that I got. So my dad, I think I might have mentioned this on the channel a couple of times. My dad, at the Sheraton Hotel, I think it was the Sheraton, walked over to DiMaggio. It's kind of funny because so my name is Joseph John. My son's name is Joseph Jack, and my dad's name is Joseph Paul. And I guess my dad was telling me that he went over to Joe DiMaggio at this hotel. Like there was a restaurant in the hotel, and walked over and said, "You're Joseph Paul, and I'm Joseph Paul." I'm sure DiMaggio was like, "Okay," but just to, again, I know I've showed this on the channel before, but at first he had this sign. This is a picture of me as a kid. So my dad had this, I guess, on him as a picture of me. And he had Joe DiMaggio sign the back of this. You can see to Matthew and Joey. I'm me being Joey. Best wishes, Joe DiMaggio. He put it in his pocket, and then later during the dinner, noticed that it was smeared and had DiMaggio sign again. And you can see here, so glad he did. It looks fantastic still to this day. To Matt and Joey, best wishes, Joe DiMaggio. So, and had this PSA DNA authenticated a couple of years ago. So pretty awesome. I want to give credit to Vince, New York Yanks fan 7. Who helped me pick up this card, and well, he actually referred me. So the way I've mentioned a couple of times that this card is a card that I've been looking for a while. Mentioned it on this channel many times, and he saw this on eBay, I think originally, and then told me about it. And something that he mentions a lot on his channel is sometimes you can work an off eBay deal. So Icon Sports Cards. So check out his. He's got an eBay channel. He's got an Instagram channel. But you can see on Instagram, he'll sometimes post cards and prices of some pretty awesome vintage cards. And so I was able to work out a deal with Icon Sports Cards through Instagram, through PayPal, friends and family. And the only reason why I was able to, part of the reason why I was able to afford this card was because I recently picked up, I recently won a 1955 Roberto Clemente rookie in a high-end vintage card break, and I didn't know what to do with it. It was a great-looking PSA 2 Roberto Clemente rookie, but I didn't know what to do with it. I already owned a 3.5 that I thought looked a lot nicer, so I had 2 Clemente rookie cards at one time, and I thought I reached out to Chris from Icon Sports Cards and asked if he'd be willing to do a trade of cash value plus the Clemente rookie, and between that and some of the fees and by not going through eBay, was able to get what I thought was a really good deal on this card. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it. 4 minutes into the video, here it is. The 1938 Goudey Heads Up Joe DiMaggio. It's so awesome. So cool to get this card. I've mentioned on this channel many times that if I ever get this card, it was going to be the one with the scribbles. So there is this one, number 274, and then there's number 250, which doesn't have any writing on the sides. It's just kind of a plain card. I thought this one looked great. The registration on this is beautiful. The centering on it is really nice. Obviously, what holds this to a 3 is the corners of the card, but at the end of the day, the registration on this is absolutely beautiful. You can read everything really clearly, which is awesome. You can see here, I think, some of the things that are written here are pretty funny. It says something about him making $25,000 a year, which I think is kind of funny. It mentions him like, Hall of Fame. This is a card. A lot of people consider this to be his rookie card. There's the 36. I think it's Worldwide Gum, but there's only like 20 of those cards, and they were made in Canada, or at least the pop on PSA is really limited. So this was sort of the first, more mass-produced card in America. I believe there are, for PSA, the pop on the number 274 is around 300. 250 is around 300. So that's how many PSA graded cards of this that are out there. So not a incredibly rare card like the 36, but this in some cases is considered a rookie, in some cases it isn't. But just so awesome to add to my collection. But I was saying, $25,000 he was getting paid, and then mentions him as like one of the best outfielders in the game. It's just interesting to me that they mention all this, and he's only this is like a second or third year card. So already a lot of high hopes, even for Goudey back in 1938. For DiMaggio. And it's interesting, somewhere on here, it actually mentions him being part, I don't know if you guys can see that, a member of the Yankees Murderers Row, which I think is interesting. If anybody knows the history, why would they mention DiMaggio with Murderers Row? At least the way that I know it is, when you talk about Murderers Row, you talk about, Ruth and Gehrig as part of that 1927 team, not DiMaggio as part of. So I don't know what that's all about. Of course, DiMaggio's most known best for the 56-game hitting streak in 1941. And I thought it was interesting here, when he broke that record, the 56-game hitting streak record, he actually was breaking Willie Keeler's 44-game hitting streak. And he was also a, New York Highlander, Yankee. I mentioned it before, but I don't know why Willie Keeler doesn't get any love in Yankee history. But DiMaggio broke Willie Keeler's record in 1941 with a 56-game hitting streak. The crazy thing about that 56-game hitting streak is he almost had a hit in the game, on that 57th game, and then went on to, I think, have another 16 consecutive game hitting streak after that. So just an unbelievable feat, and beat out Ted Williams for MVP in 1941. Ted Williams hitting 406 in that season. So you can imagine how good of a season DiMaggio had to have in order to beat Ted Williams. In some ways, I was thinking about DiMaggio, is he underrated or overrated? I don't know. I was looking at ESPN a couple years ago had the top 100 greatest players of all time, and they had DiMaggio at 15. And some people think that he's overrated, but if you look at it, DiMaggio only played, and I think the main reason why people might say he's overrated is because he only played 13 seasons in the majors. But it's kind of an interesting thing to think about, because he 3 years, he lost 3 years because he was in the Army at ages 28 to 30. So his prime years, can you imagine? You add those 3 years to his career, and it would be unbelievable to add those. So 3 years in the Army during his prime years, and what I think is crazy, 13 seasons, and he won 9 championships with the Yankees. 9 championships. That is crazy. Imagine today a guy that played 13 years, served 3 years in the Army, and won 9 championships. Everyone would consider him the GOAT of all time. It would be like an undisputed GOAT. And so in some cases, I feel between, the championships and, he was known for being a fantastic outfielder. I think there was one year, I think it was 1947, he only made one error for the entire season. Never struck out. I think he only had 300 plus strikeouts in his entire career. So just a, fantastic hitter. You know, a lot of people compare him and Ted Williams. There was one point where DiMaggio was almost traded for Ted Williams. At least that's what I heard. So, another thing I just wanted to mention is, maybe it's just me and just like totally just didn't know any better, but I didn't realize that, you know, DiMaggio played until 1951. So he could have had, like, if he had a license with Topps, there could have been a 1952 Topps Joe DiMaggio. It's just kind of sad when you think about it. You know, there could have been a 48 Bowman, 49 Bowman, 50 Bowman, 51 Bowman DiMaggio. But unfortunately, you know, there's that one Leaf card, the 48, 49 Leaf DiMaggio. And I have to be honest with you, like, looking back, I always thought the DiMaggio card was kind of like the Ruth card. Like, it was like after his playing days, but it was during his playing days, that 48, 49 Leaf DiMaggio card. So, unfortunately, there's not a ton of DiMaggio cards. You know, like there's the 38, the 39 play ball, two beautiful cards. The 41 play ball is just a beautiful card. I'm sure you guys know that, you know, the color, DiMaggio swinging. So I definitely would love to get my hands on that card one day. But it'll have to wait. So, but anyway, guys, let me know what you think. The 38 Goudey heads up, one of the weirdest cards. I was never a big fan of this card. It's crazy to think to, you know, finally own this, because you see this card in magazines and stuff, and you never think you'll end up owning it. But finally own it. You know, looks like a comic book kind of, and that's kind of why I wanted like the I don't know what to call them, the scribbles that are on the card here. So because it feels like a comic book card or like a cartoon. And by the way, this is my 5th Goudey card. I put my my Goudey cards in the background here. Now we got the DiMaggio, the Gehrig, the Ruth with the Boston Braves, and the Frank Hogan that I picked up last year in a PSA 8. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Look at that, 34 Goudey PSA 8. Not, you know, the DiMaggio doesn't look as good as the Frank Hogan. Look at that. How is that, you know, PSA 8, 1934 card? Anyway. All right, guys. That's it. That is my one card that I picked up. So excited to finally add that card to my collection. Check out Icon Sports Cards if you guys get a chance on eBay and Instagram. And thank you, Vince, New York Yanks Fan 7, for letting me know about this card. Just so excited to add it to the collection. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts. You know, if I missed anything about the 38 Goudey card that I should have mentioned, or anything about Joe DiMaggio's career. So that's it. Thanks to everybody for watching, and I'll talk to you later.